Brian, let's talk about the specific needs of high net worth investors. First of all, what is a high net worth investor?
Yeah, I would define that as somebody with at least $5 million of assets. But typically, it's someone with even more than that, 20 million to 50 million, but certainly anybody over 5 million. And they have different needs, and you break it down, and we all kind of want the same things in the end. But when you think about it, if somebody comes to me and they say, well, I have $10,000, can you help me? Well, our minimum is much higher than that, but they don't need a lot of advanced planning. I probably need to tell them to invest in your education or start saving for their first house or something like that. That's a totally different animal than somebody with $1 million or somebody with 10 million. Somebody with $10 million does not need to be sold a secure annuity or have a significant bond portfolio. Typically, they need other things that often advisors aren't able to provide.
What are some of the needs of a high net worth individual as opposed to someone who does have, less than $5 million?
Yeah, so with once you get up above $5 million, often some new areas come into play. There, some of the things I can think of off the top of my head. One might be, we've talked about fixed index universal life, and I have a segment on premium finance. Now, to do premium finance, fixed index universal life, where you can use the bank leverage to supercharge your tax-free cash flow or tax-free legacy assets, you have to have $5 million generally to even be able to get one of those policies. Often people with that kind of net worth have businesses, and so they need business succession help. Sometimes often they have investment real estate. So someone, they need help with 1031 exchanges, 1033 exchanges, Delaware statutory trusts. That's another area that they might have. Talking about trusts, credit shelter trusts, and making sure that those are in place in their will. Grantor trusts for their children, charitable gifting strategies, which we have lots of videos on too. It could be Roth conversion analysis, income tax level loading, getting the tax brackets spread out over the years, having a plan for that. Kind of getting in the weeds here a little bit, but what I'm saying is high net worth investors, they need more than just somebody that's going to put them in the stocks, bonds, and annuities and that kind of thing. They need a higher level of service.
Sounds like Madrona Financial is uniquely positioned to serve the needs of high net worth individuals.
Yeah, and in fact, interesting you say that, but when you think about a lot of high net worth individuals will go to their estate planning attorney and think that that's all they need. They need a estate plan in there and so forth. But estate planning attorneys don't really have product knowledge. They have never maybe even heard of a Delaware statutory trust or a premium finance fixed index universal life. So they don't really have the complete package. Yeah, they got the trust provisions in the will and money will go here, money will go there. But what money and what investments did we have to get there? So that's kind of, I feel like we can be the glue to pull all of it together, the CPA, the estate planning, the insurance, the stockbroker, the real estate, all this together to get it right, not only with the advice, but with the product knowledge too thrown in there. So that is very difficult to find, but that is something, a place where we shine. So I'm finding over the years that, with the radio show that we've been doing all these years, that we're getting more and more in front of people that are high net worth, and they'll be coming to the end of the meeting and they'll say, I just heard 6 topics I've never heard from any of my highfalutin advisors in a tall building in Seattle. You just gave me 6 things I've never heard from any of them. I'm like, yeah. So that to me is an indication that there are needs of the high net worth that aren't being served.
Having the Bauer Evans CPA firm, is that a big advantage for high net worth investors?
That's the key advantage, I think, because honestly, any insurance person can put you into an annuity. We all have access to the same annuities. Not everybody can do fixed index universal life or premium finance. Anybody can put you into mutual funds, the stock market, the bond markets. That's not a differentiator. The big differentiator is the biggest expense we have, income taxes and estate taxes. So that's the big differentiator that pulls us all together. So if you have an investment plan that doesn't consider income, estate, gifting, legacy, charitable gifting, it's probably lacking.
Brian, thanks for telling us about how you serve the needs of high net worth investors.